Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into Ajahn Brahm's insightful talk on how to cultivate positivity in life. Here are the 5 key takeaways you don't want to miss. Number 1, slowing down. By moving more slowly through life, both physically and mentally, you can appreciate the beauty and richness around you. This gives your mind and senses time to fully experience things, leading to a more positive outlook.
To taste it 100%. And of course, I realized a very good simile of why people don't have a positive attitude in life and why they don't understand life. Because too many people live life as if they're in a fast car looking through the window, always going on to the next thing, and pretty quickly too. So what we're experiencing now, it doesn't have a time. We can't feel it fully. We're about to feel it, we get 5% or 1% of the sensation. We have to move on to something else. Sights, tastes, feelings, everything. We don't have time for it to fully form. But when we do go slower, when we do move more gently through life, when we get out of the fast cars of life and just go on bicycles, and bicycles can be too damn fast, get off the bikes and walk. Not even walk, but walk slowly. What happens is you find that your senses at last have time, and the mind has got the opportunity to explore whatever comes into your senses. You see things more fully. You get more information, more detail. And the surprising thing, at first for me, but now I understand that this is part of this experience, that what you see, what you feel, what you taste, what you know, becomes more and more beautiful. Ordinary grass becomes this green which is like alive, vibrant and rich. It's an intense green. But when you're going through the window of a car, it's pastel. Simply because you haven't given it time. When I had experiences like that, of course I realized that that's basically what happens when we slow down in meditation. You go on a retreat, or you just take time out of life, or you learn to move more slowly through your day whenever you can, and you do have many opportunities. What happens is you feel more, you get more information, and what you see becomes very rich. It's a positive psychology.
Number 2, changing perception. Focus on the positive aspects of difficult situations and people, rather than dwelling on the negatives. By shifting your perspective, you can find beauty even in challenging moments, such as interacting with prisoners or focusing on the healthy parts of a body with illness.
Say a cancer, say a breast cancer. Forget that most of their body hasn't got cancer. That there's still other parts of them. Focusing on the other parts of them, you see incredible beauty, incredible strength, incredible fitness and power, which means that you can harness that power. The power of the positive side of a sickness. The power of a positive side of someone's behavior. And I know, and I think many other people can understand intuitively, how that is therapeutic, how that grows. I've mentioned before, just to try and have simple ways of talking about this, so people can remember. Talking that if you have a garden and you water the weeds, it's the weeds which grow and take over your garden. If you water the flowers grow and they take over. It's what you water, what you focus on, is what grows in life. And this is one of the great ways out of illness, out of tragedies, out of dysfunctions, out of psychological problems in life, just out of sorrow and grief. If we focus on the grief, the cause of the grief, the problem, of course it will get worse and worse and worse.
Number 3, Mindfulness and meditation. Through meditation and mindfulness practices, you can calm the mind and enhance your ability to see the world clearly. This stillness allows you to cultivate a deeper sense of peace and positivity.
So take time in life. Don't go always running around. You have to run sometimes. But there's times when you just slow down and stop. To remind yourself, to center yourself. That's what meditation is all about, learning how to stop. But sometimes people don't meditate properly. They go meditate just kind of trying to achieve something else, trying to go for it. Sometimes people get more stressed out when they meditate than before they started. You're trying too hard. You know, some meditation objects we don't recommend. Like someone told me this a couple of days ago. In Buddhism, we don't recommend meditating on a candle because it burns your bottom. And that's today's joke. It doesn't improve with the years. But it's one I haven't told before. Anyway, so when you sort of meditate for peace, for stillness. Because in stillness, you see more deeply, and you see more beautifully, and your positive attitude to life grows and grows and grows and grows. And that's why the National Institute for Clinical Excellence, which is the arm of the British National Health Service, which does test therapies, find out what's the best for the amount of money they have to spend. Testing depression, or rather therapies for depression, compared 3 types of treatment: medication, cognitive behavioral therapy, which is basically counseling, and meditation. Which one worked the best? Of course, you know, meditation. By far the best. So the British National Health Service, the preferred therapy for depression is meditation, if they could only find enough people to teach it. It works. Hopefully today I've shown why it works. Stillness exposes beauty and power and energy. And with that power and energy and positivity and that beauty, wow, you're not just going to heal depression. You're just going to go and create a beautiful world.
Number 4, positive reinforcement. Acknowledge and appreciate the positive qualities within yourself and others. When you notice and focus on good traits, it encourages those aspects to grow, fostering a more positive self-image and environment.
So a person, when they start slowing down, meditating, living a more peaceful life, they have much more respect for themselves, even admiration for themselves. And what they admire, what they respect, is like the flowers. They grow and grow and grow, and eventually they just take over the garden. They smother the weeds. The beautiful part of yourself, once it's appreciated, noticed, embraced, accepted, recognized, that grows. And all that other little stuff which, you know, your faults, your negativity, all that other stuff which, you know, causes too many problems in your life, that vanishes. You know what this is called? The path to enlightenment, the path to freedom, the path to joy, to happiness. And I've focused on it, the positive attitude towards yourself, to others, to life in general, even to death. Whatever happens in life, you embrace it, see its beauty, see it's just the circles of life going round. The winters, and the springs, and the summers.
Number 5, patience and acceptance. Life, like seasons, has its cycles of challenges and growth. Accepting these changes with patience allows you to maintain a positive attitude, knowing that difficult times are temporary and part of the larger process of life.
I think, because I don't know over here in Australia, but The global financial crisis. Somebody once, on a completely different subject, gave this wonderful simile, and I was sharing this with so many people in like a place like Singapore, where they're very, very worried about the finances. So it's like a financial winter. Because I was born in the Northern Hemisphere, and I remember the winters in England. In the winters you go outside the city, and you wouldn't see a leaf on the trees. The flowers were all dead. There was no life. Even the animals were hiding underground, sleeping, hibernating. In the deep winter time, outside of London, everything was grey. Dead, like trees were like skeletons in the forest. Nothing was alive. There was no hope. It was cold and dead, a withered landscape, like an economic crisis. But you know what? Underneath the soil, you knew this because you've seen it so many times. Underneath the soil there were seeds, the animals, there was life, powerful life, just waiting. It was waiting for the time, for the warmth, for the tiny bit of rain to germinate, and then you get the spring months, March or April, and suddenly the whole landscape will be bursting with life, with greenery. All these animals would jump out and start to mate, and all sorts of other hanky-panky, which I don't know much. But anyway, that's just life. And this is what you'd see. What was dead and hopeless and cold and withered was now full of energy and life and beauty and vibrant. And that's always, whatever happens in life. These are the cycles we go through. This is economic crisis. It's just like a winter time. And you know that winter time is always followed by spring. It's the cycles of the world. You know that. But we forget it. It's too easy to get depressed in winter times. But those of you who have more experience can see in that winter time this beautiful pause. The pause of our life, when many people are forced to see something more important than economic activity. It's just reminder times. Like in winter time, we can stop and be still and peaceful when not so many things are moving. When you see the beauty in a dead tree, when you see the beauty in the lifeless landscape, the stillness, the life inside, then you know that this is just one part of the wheel. And this is all this is right now. In our economic times, in your life, cancers, death, falling in love, getting married, getting divorced, having kids, all that sort of stuff, the cycles of our life. So when it is winter, always know there's a spring coming soon. You know it happens, you've been there before, but don't forget. This is the positive side of life. And you see it more and more, the more still you get. So take time in life. Don't go always running around. You have to run sometimes. But there's times when you just slow down and stop. To remind yourself, to center yourself.
These teachings remind us that positivity isn't just a feeling, it's a practice. If you found this helpful, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiration. Thanks for watching.